It's Tuesday, September 15th, and the time for your Barbados TV Morning News Update. Governor General Dame Sandra Mason will in a few hours outline government's policies and programs for the next 3 years. Her throne speech, which will take place at a ceremony at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre, will mark the new session of Parliament. The ceremony is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m. with a formal procession of members of Parliament from both the upper and lower houses, followed by the throne speech. Owner of the KAREEM Resort, Paul Doyle, is defending his decision to seek an overseas talent to fill a senior position in his organization. General Secretary of the Unity Workers Union, Senator Caswell Franklin, had challenged the decision, stating it was his belief that a local could have influenced the position. But Doyle told Barbados today that there was merit to the move, since the hotel needed a specific set of skills that simply did not exist among those who applied from Barbados.
For the 2 weeks, we got a total of 9 applications. 5 applications we could discount because they had no hotel experience. And it's very technical. Like hotel accounting is, somebody who's good knows, all of the ratios and what, how many housekeepers should you have in a 4.5-star hotel per room, per occupied, per, all of the costs and everything. They know their stuff, and they're good in terms of the systems in a hotel and the management, the reporting, and all that. So 5 of the people who applied had 0. Of the 4 left, one of them was the person we'd like to hire. Of the other 3, 2 didn't have hotel management experience. They had accounting experience. Like they were accountants, not managers. And we're looking for someone to run a team and improve what we do. We don't want somebody to come in and keep us doing what we're doing. We need somebody to come and help us do way better, up to international standards.
Doyle also defended the KAREEM's track record of hiring locals first for its operations.
Any hotel, he said that hotels would pay more, or implied that we would, like double or triple, to hire an expat than they would a local, and then give them a house and a car. Right. We're not idiots. No businessman in their right mind is going to pay anybody any more for any reason. If you can find an equivalent person to do the job here, no hotel is going to say, no, I'd rather pay more money than somebody else. So that might be a good soundbite, but it doesn't ring true to me.
We continue with developments on the industrial front. Worsening industrial relations issues at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation have seemingly reached the attention of the Barbados Workers Union's top brass. Barbados Today's KAREEM Smith has the details.
Barbados Today obtained a copy of the minutes from a management meeting on Monday that warned of a buildup of mold, infestation by roaches and other insects, as well as air conditioning units that are either not working or have not been serviced. These were highlighted during a surprise visit from the Labor Department in response to numerous complaints from workers. The situation is so dire it triggered a meeting on Monday afternoon that included Chief Executive Officer Sanka Price and BWU General Secretary Senator Tony Moore. Specific areas of the building that need urgent attention include the MCTV department, where vents were said to be very dirty, and mold in the ICT department that was attributed to water seepage on ceiling tiles. Centipedes and roaches were reported in the QFM studios, and the AC units in the newsroom have reportedly not been functioning for nearly 2 years, the report added. A high volume of exposed wires in the engineering department and dead insects in the vents were also reported. The report also revealed that chairs needed to be replaced as one staffer fell but luckily was not seriously injured. When contacted, Price acknowledged the existence of the issues and said they were being addressed. KAREEM Smith for Barbados Today.
Pharmacists in Barbados, who say they have been fighting for additional best practices in the industry for years, have welcomed the proposed amendments to legislation that would outlaw unregulated establishments. Past president of the Barbados Pharmaceutical Society, Paul Gibson, who was part of a team that made an input into the impending law, announced yesterday by Minister of Health and Wellness, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, said the improvements augur well for pharmacists and patients.
The warehousing laws are also going to change because of a couple of incidences where persons just thought that they could bring in stuff and start to sell product in Barbados, not realizing that they needed the authorization of the Barbados Pharmacy Council to begin to practice. A pharmacist must be present if you are selling pharmaceutical agents in any warehouse. Right? A pharmacist must be present, and therefore, because pharmacists come under the regulation of the Pharmacy Council, it is only natural for those persons to apply and be given authorization by the council to practice in that space.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from our regional neighbors now, Guyana police are investigating the discovery of a dead body in a plane not far from the area where another aircraft crash landed in the northern part of the country on Sunday night. More in this report from Gordon Mosley of News Source, Guyana.
GDF ranks are in the Isano area in Region 7 after a second illegal aircraft was found today, but this one with a dead body and a quantity of cocaine. The aircraft was found close to the Isano airstrip, just hours after the discovery of the first aircraft at 9 miles Isano. According to police sources close to the probe, it appears as though the plane with a dead body crashed sometime yesterday, and the second Brazilian registered aircraft was sent in to rescue survivors. Only one survivor may have been found, since when that plane was found, there were 3 persons on board, including the pilot of the plane that was later discovered with a dead body and cocaine. 3 foreigners are in custody. 2 are Brazilians and 1 is a Venezuelan national. They reportedly told investigators that they were flying over the Suriname when they crash-landed in Guyana. But now investigators are suspicious of that story and believe the 3 men might have been moving the cargo from the plane that was found with a dead body and cocaine. Although cocaine was found on the plane with that dead body, there are reports that a quantity of gold and U.S. currency were also being transported at the time of the crash.
And finally, residents in Louisiana and Mississippi under evacuation orders as Hurricane Sally approaches with 100-mile-per-hour winds. The system is the second strong storm in less than a month to threaten the region. More in this report from Reuters TV.
Mississippi residents and those living in low-lying areas in Louisiana were under evacuation orders as Sally churned across the Gulf of Mexico, gaining hurricane strength on Monday.
I'm very concerned. When they say evacuate, we have to go, and I leave. We leave, my whole family leaves.
Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards said Sally is a slow but powerful storm, expected to make landfall as a Category 2 hurricane in the southeast part of the state as early as Tuesday.
What we know with a slow-moving storm, if one of those bands of rain settle over part of Louisiana, we know that flooding is going to be a big concern.
Sally could dump 8 to 16 inches of rain on the coast and could cause widespread flooding. Thousands of Louisiana residents are still living in temporary housing after they evacuated for Hurricane Laura, whose damaging winds and rains wreaked havoc just weeks ago. Other residents are still clearing debris, and tens of thousands are still without power. Sally's path remains east of that hard-hit area.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.